Welcome back to Live With All Your Heart. I'm your host, Saadia Bean, and we've been sharing from my book, Live With All Your Heart. And today we have guests with us. We have Kelee, Darrell, welcome. Angela Brangman, you were with us on our last episode. Thank you for coming back. And JeanAnn Stovell, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. So we're all making this adventurous journey through Live With All Your Heart. And you've been sharing with me and others about what that journey has been like for you. What is different in your life about living with all your heart since you've been reading this book?
Well, I would say that I've become more aware of my thought process and my feelings and my reactions to various situations, become more positive. I am becoming more, when I say aware, I'm realizing when I'm saying something that's, not necessarily positive, or when my feeling, when I'm creating a negative environment for myself, so it's becoming unhealthy. So I'm becoming more aware, and I'm learning to now create the positive side of environment, waking up every day and being determined that this is going to be a good day regardless of whatever may come my way.
Well, I was so fascinated listening to Kelee. I realized that it was my turn. I'm just having so much fun. The biggest difference in my life is that I'm happier, and that I've learned how to just really enjoy the happiness from the inside out. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it every day. It's so much fun.
Well, for me, it's actually a transition of my entire journey in life. I found that I was bringing stresses into my life and bringing a lot of negativity into my life and casting it wherever I went. But having read this book, I have now learned that decision processes are mine. The joy perspective that I want is mine. I have the ability to determine the outcomes in my life, no matter what they look like coming into my life. I determine the outcome in my life. So it's been great. I'm enjoying it. I'm sharing it. So I'm practicing it. And that's the greatest transition for me, just trying to model it on a day-to-day basis. So it's been good.
So we're enjoying this journey together, and we're looking at our lives in a way where we're monitoring our thoughts and our feelings. We're becoming very aware that from that, we actually create our lives. We have on page 102, we've got a list of all kinds of feelings, and good feelings and what we might call bad feelings. But actually feelings are all important because they're important indicators. They show us what's going to be coming next. Thoughts and feelings. Share with us what it's been like for you to be more in tune with thoughts and feelings and how you've been using it as a barometer in your life.
Well, I would definitely say I gravitated toward the principle that says I am here to experience the magnificence of my being by demonstrating God's character every day. And so when I understood who I was and realized I have to demonstrate God's character wherever I go, my feelings and my reaction to my feelings, all those things, they help to make that whole situation up. So I kept in mind that I'm demonstrating God's character. So as I go and I'm feeling kind of upset about this situation, I think of it more in how can I react to this in more of a positive way that, I'm not creating a toxic environment around me. And let's resolve this in a more humble manner rather than creating this just toxicity of just anger and frustration. And I realized it's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel upset. It's just how you portray it. So that's definitely one way I've learned to apply it. Think about who you are and whose you are, and it helped me a great deal.
So it sounds like it's making us more responsible to be who we say we are and show up that way and create the environment that we want to create. Paying attention to ourselves. being aware. Yeah.
I've known the concept for so long, Saadia. Talked about it, even taught it. The amazing application through these principles that I've had has allowed me to change my perspective on how I live it. As a man thinketh, so he is. And energy follows thought. Yet, continually I would think, oh, these things have happened to me, or this has happened, or that has happened. And not appreciating that I was thinking about all of these stressful, unpleasant things, and I could just simply choose to think about something else, and it would change my energy, it would change my joy, it would change my life. And I've come through some pretty major things, and this has been a key. This piece has been a key factor for me.
So you're saying a thought comes, then a feeling comes, and sometimes the thought and the feeling is not what you want. And one of the things you actually do is change the thought.
Yes, because I used to live in that thought. And it becomes a bit of a woe is me. And I have just learned to move away from that thought and think about other things that are good and lovely and true and wonderful and honest and of good report and all of those great things that I knew but didn't do. It works.
Many people have told me that they have a thought, and since it comes to their mind, then they have to think it. They can't stop thinking about it. You want to talk about that a bit, JeanAnn?
I understand that completely, because when you have that thought and you think you're limited to only that, then you think you must follow through. But having read through this book, I've found that I can cast those things down easy. I can choose as an act of my own will to say, no, I'm not letting that enter. I'm not letting that stay. I'm not allowing that thought to cause my emotions to become so overwhelmed that it could almost ruin my day. I've lived many days like that. And like Angela has said, you teach this, you are encourage people in that, but I choose to enjoy joy. I make it my aim. I make it my determination. I don't always succeed, but I choose it. I choose to have a better outlook on how things come, like I said earlier, and then how I output them. So I'm making that an act of my will to have my outputs way better than the things that come to me as inputs. I choose to shift my thoughts to happy thoughts, not just emotionally happy, but deliberately saying to myself, reminding myself who I am, and then reminding myself that I have the ability to change what I think about a circumstance that I can't even control. So it's been great.
So to live with all of our hearts, we choose joy.
Yes.
All kinds of thoughts that could give us joy. Do you choose to live with all your hearts? Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about thoughts and feelings and what they actually do to the body so that we have a healthy body, or maybe there's something else that's going to show up. Stay tuned while we talk about using your emotional guidance system, which is your feelings. We'll be right back.